I'm no expert. I don't study all this social stuff, but like, it just seems like if the nostalgia is what you're after, it's probably because that's what you really want, is that like kind of storytelling, that engagement with people, not just on a platform, but in person. Welcome to the Created to Be podcast. We are excited to be back, rolling into the semester, new semester with everybody back. Students have come back to campus, and we are all back at the table this week. So we got Justin with us.
Yo.
Doc.
I'm back.
And Brandi.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, full table. This is so exciting. We had Jason Crowder on the last podcast and did some topics around sports broadcast and what he does and reminisced a little bit.
What a gift Jason Crowder is to Mississippi State.
Yeah, very fun. And then he turned around and he asked me to be on the FCA radio show that he does.
Oh, that's cool.
Got to plug Created to Be on there. So that will run soon, I guess. So that was cool. Yeah, we need to get you on there, Doc.
Well, I was going to say, for this to be my first time back after Mr. Jason Crowder, we got some big shoes to fill today. So we have to come with it, Brandi. We got to we got to really come with it.
We immediately, when he started talking, I was like, dude, we're toast because he's got such a good radio voice.
Wow.
That was fun. And we also talked
teach us his ways.
Yeah, I know. We should get him to do a little clinic for us.
As the professor.
Yeah.
Teaches.
No, before that, we did top 10 moments of the semester. So if you haven't listened to that yet, that was good. That was just me and Justin. We were trying to hold the fort, but
yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
always good to reflect.
But it was good to have a break. Darius, you said this morning that it kind of throws you off a little bit. I agree. We were sick a lot of the break, unfortunately. But how was your break?
My break was good. I was sick some of my break, but I had a birthday during the break. Of course, you celebrate Christmas and New Year, so I was able to get with a lot of family. And so you kind of get, it's almost like you get real relaxed, and then right after the New Year, you have to go right back to work. So it's like trying to, rev up that engine.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed the break and did a lot of great things with family and friends. And so I'm glad it came, and also I'm glad it went. But now it's kind of like back to life, back to reality.
Yeah.
Back to normal.
What about y'all, Brandi?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice and slow, which I was thankful for because we don't get that very often. And so we just stayed around the whole 2 weeks. We did Christmas with family before, and then we were here. We don't leave the house Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But
is that a Morgan tradition there? Or like we are not leaving?
It's a me tradition.
It's a Brandi tradition.
I started it a couple of years ago because, my family loves to hunt. So I feel like it's good because we're spending time together, but it's also more running. And I just like us to be still together for a little bit. So,
and ground.
Yeah.
And everybody agrees to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Brett's actually said, he's thankful for it. So, because growing up, they did Christmas morning. They left by like 10 or 11 to come up here to his family's.
Yeah.
So he was used to going on Christmas Day. And so I was like, I'd rather just be at home, be together.
Yeah.
Because we're going so much. So my kids are struggling with getting back into routine, especially the youngest. He was like, Mom, can I just skip today? I have a sub. I was like, no, you have to go to school.
You have to get up and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how our kids are, especially Eli. Not to call him out too much, but yeah, I actually had to make him like a list. Like I was like, dude, you're going to have some you need to visually see what has to happen during your day because he'll just get lost in a book or whatever. And you're like, dude, we're going to be peeling you out of the bed in the morning.
Yep.
And normally that's Justin.
We have been peeling.
Yeah.
I have been peeling
Justin.
out of the bed.
Justin has
Well,
been
it's
doing
hard because you do loosen up, or we do at least. We'll look down and it's 9:30 or 10, which isn't super late. But for them to get back in the routine of getting up at 6 for school, they're like, I don't want to. Right.
Well, that's what I was gonna say was the worst. When I was sick, Santana was sick as well. And the worst is to be at home with your wife at that time because you don't have a schedule.
Right.
So we were literally sleeping and waking up at 7, 8, and then you stand up to 3 o'clock in the morning. Then you go so you got to think when it came time to get back on schedule, it just was bananas. Because you're trying to rewire your body to say, hey, you've been doing this for 5 or 6 days. you got to get back to your normal
Okay.
team.
Okay. I need Justin to tell y'all this story because this happened the other day. Okay. So I was sick for like 3 weeks. And then, I mean, it just like this cough was ridiculous and it kept changing. And then finally it was like so bad. I was getting like my ribs were hurting. Anyway, finally got a shot, but we traveled. So that made it extra complicated because it was like we had to go anyway. So got back from Texas and then Ben gets the flu and then Eli gets the flu. But we still had our Christmas lights up. We still had, thankfully we had taken the Christmas tree down, but we had other things. We still have Christmas up in our house. Like we got to pack some stuff up. But Justin, I thought it'd be funny for you to tell a story of like you were up on the roof the other day and a neighbor came by. This is like classic, like what you would see in a movie.
Neighbor's name. I love him. He's very direct, says whatever's on his mind, so it can come across very, very rude. And I've had instances before I'm like misunderstood, whatever. He's amazing. I think he works for the government, but can't tell that. I guess I don't know. But his mom, his mom's going through dementia in like late years, and so he's there as caretaker with some help and stuff.
Justin just wants you to understand.
I'm just giving you some context. Anyway, great guy. He runs a lot too. Anyway, so I'm up on the roof, and then he's walking past, just kind of enjoying his walk. And then he catches me. He's like, oh, hey. And I'm like, yeah, hey, how's it going? And he's like, you did great with the lights this year. And I was like, thanks, He's like, how did you, get them up on the roof? Was it like a special light or things like that? I was like, no, just, clip it on. Different, just nothing different than the ones that I got on the bottom part of the roof. And he's like, okay. And he said, I said, my kids want to we'll add to it maybe a little bit next year. And he's like, oh, I think you did good. Like, I think it's pretty saturated. And I was like, I was just kind of telling them, because they were like, go to the tree and go to this bush. And I'm like, well, if we expand in the front yard, now we have to add more dimensions and things. And that's just way more lights and more cords and all those things. I don't know if I want to do that. And he's like, no, I think you did a good job. He said,
let me tell you, his house is like diagonally across from her. So like he's
like, I see it. He said, I see your house perfectly. Like it's great. It looks great. I was like, thanks. And he said, but I'm also glad you're pulling it down now. I mean, it's like January, 14th or something. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, and I knew what he meant because I know him enough. And I'm like, that's so funny that he said that.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, we got in last weekend and had sick kids. And the last thing I wanted to do right now is to be on the roof and getting this stuff off from our long Texas trip. And this is the next weekend, and so it works out for me to do it. So
I just felt like that was a scene from a movie, how
taking it down.
Little
We're
shade.
planning on leaving them up all year.
Yeah.
Interesting neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say
I love interesting neighbors. I really do.
Well, I have an interesting neighbor, but I'm gonna tell you this. Now, please don't judge me. You know how they say we listen and we don't judge. I need y'all to listen and not
That's
judge.
the thought of the week.
I need y'all to listen and not judge. We did not take our Christmas tree down from 24 all the way through this year because the lights. So now I'm gonna say this. Now our Christmas tree doesn't have a lot of ornaments. It's just a tree with the lights. So it's not like it's a bunch of. But we connected the lights to Alexa. So the tree became like an extra lamp. Like instead of keeping all the lights, it's Alexa, turn on all lights. And there it is. And so I think it just was like, and see, I'm going to say this, y'all, we got this house. I didn't know we had an attic because the way the house is made, I would see this big old square thing in the garage, but I just was like, I mean, what is that? And one day my wife was like, we got to put this. So what happened, we put the tree in the attic and it was so challenging for me because I'm scared of heights. Mm. And it's almost as if when you pull down the I don't even know what you call it, for the
attic door?
The attic door, it becomes a ladder. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like the ladder doesn't come all the way down. So I have to get up there. Then we have to push this tree or pull it up in the attic. And I'm scared every little step that I'm going to fall through the roof or something. And so what happens is me and her dad actually does it together. And so I'm just going to say this to all the women out there. sometimes if a man tell you he doesn't want to do something and you keep pushing him and he gets snappy, it's really because he's scared and he don't want to tell you that he's scared, but you're pushing him to a fear that he don't want to face. And that's how it was with my wife. So I think she put in that, I don't want to make Darius a little, and it is a light in the house. And so we literally had a tree up a whole year without taking it down. Like when you come in the house, but it was a lamp. I didn't look at it as a tree. It's like it became a lamp. And then to have Alexa doing that for you, like I don't have to get up just right. I don't have to walk to the light switch and Alexa, turn on lights. Hey. So like I said, we listen, but don't judge. Please don't judge. So if you come and you saw Tristan.
I'm just thinking I need to send you one or two of my kids next year. They can put the tree up for you in the attic.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure with the way you challenged me with putting that candy in that bowl, that
if you need your roof clean, I'm sure they'll climb up on your roof or do something too.
These Morgan kids are built different.
Oh,
they are.
They're climbers.
That was a guy.
Now listen, stop. Now listen. Our kids will plan how to do it. They will execute. My kids would be scared to death to do that.
Really?
But these Morgan kids can do anything.
I believe it.
They came back from one time. We were like, they like to play in the woods all the time. And we were like, they're hiding in the woods. We're not going in the woods.
Abby's like, there's...
And they took Ben.
Yes, they did. And then Abby's like, Mom, there's ticks out there that can make you allergic to everything you love. That's what she said. In the woods. Like,
that's funny.
Wow.
Oregon kids. Out in the woods.
Well, I guess because I know a person that happened to. So
like tick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got bit by a tick, and it affected
what she
It affected what she ate. Right. She couldn't eat certain stuff. Yeah. Like I'm like, why? Like, because at first it was like everywhere you go, it's like she had to have a special menu, and I'm like, what?
It's true.
And she literally got bit. That's what happened.
And Abby knows all of those things. Yeah, like she does.
Pancake kids are something different. like all three of them have a different personality, but they're all something special in a different way.
Yeah.
We have traveled far in such a short time here. This is good.
We have. I wanted to tell one more story, and then we'll get on the theme. Speaking of traveling, Darius, don't feel bad that you did not know about a compartment of some sort. We might have told this story before on a previous podcast, but Justin and I were in South Africa for our friend's weddings.
Budgeted trip. Yeah, we had no money.
Yeah, this was like barely a year.
So we got a stick shift car with a little.
We called it a box on wheels.
Box on wheels.
This was in South Africa.
Hold up to travel?
Yeah.
When we landed in South Africa, we would travel in the whole time.
So it's a stick shift on the other side, on driving on the passenger side, and on the opposite lane.
You have to do it with your left hand.
I was doing my left hand. Thankfully, I'm left-handed, so it was pretty good.
That worked out
okay.
But I mean, we were so cheap.
But yeah.
So we were our friends, Andy and Elna, who we met here through FCA, good friends of ours. They were getting married. She's from South Africa. So they were packing. They got married and then they were stayed at this resort place that we were all out at, that they were going to leave the next morning. So we saw them the next morning before they took off to go on their honeymoon or whatever. And he was packing the car. Maybe y'all went to pack the car. I don't remember. At some point, they had a car that was the next level of whatever we had, but it was still small. And they had this crazy cool compartment thing that you...
In the back, you just lift up.
It looks like there's nothing there, but you lift this thing and it's under the seats, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
And even when we saw that, we were like, our car doesn't have that. So we were putting our suitcases in the back seat, huge suitcases, whatever.
And that's what you're supposed to.
We got to the airport to turn the car. I mean, we had seen someone else do this and we didn't even try because we were like, no, there's no shot in this tiny thing. We get to the airport and, they're doing their 5-point check, whatever, on the car. This woman opens up this compartment. We both were like, I was there the whole time.
Wow.
We were so rookie traveling.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got out of South Africa on that trip. That's another story for another time.
There's so many stories from that.
Great trip. Crazy trip. Anyway.
It's also, throwing back to, what year was that? 2009?
2009.
I mean, how much has changed with Airbnb and communication. Yes. And I mean, it was not the same.
To my defense, I just thought addicts were always in houses that were really high and big.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it never even crossed my mind that this could potentially be what this is.
Yeah. Right.
I'm so.
So did you leave your tree up this year too? You going to keep it as a lamp?
Eventually going to take it down.
Okay.
You get a great bonding experience with your father-in-law again too, so that's a win.
Yes. Well, we actually no. You said that this is the type of father-in-law I have. I literally came from work the other day, and he has done the whole landscaping in our front yard.
Oh, wow.
Like he's that type of guy. So
Let's go.
he comes.
Are you
up,
cool with that?
Oh man, am I?
Okay.
It makes my yard look like I'm out there really keeping it
It's
up.
like people
And
see it
it's-
and are like, Darius is killing it.
and it's him. So he loves and I'm benefiting from. He loves me too, but he really loves his daughter.
Yeah.
So whatever he could do for his little girl, he's gonna do it. So he comes there a lot. So
Well, I appreciate your input so that next time Justin doesn't want to do something for me, I'm going to be like, dude, you're scared, aren't you?
And it'd be like, no, I'm just lazy, actually.
But have you ever had a situation like that before? Where something was bothering and I'm not like you just scared, but it's like if a person's scared of heights and they trying to go on a ride and you like, no, I ain't feeling it. And then they like, come on, you can do it. And then they start agreeing, you like, I'm not doing it.
Probably
it's because
fixing
of
the
that.
roof on my shed is one of it. Probably,
I
I
found
feel like I might bite off a little bit more than I could chew.
Yeah, but I'm the type, I'm like, just go for it. Like, but I'm also the one that doesn't have to do it. But you're not like scared of heights. It would be like if you're scared of heights and then you're having to do that task.
But I think too. But no, I think that what he said though, it fits as well because it's like putting you in a position.
The project, not the heights, but
right. It's like putting you in a position to not be the best version of yourself, and then your confidence is so high. Don't want to let you down, but at the same time, it's like if you push me, I'm going to try. But at the same time, this is kind of going a little more than what I would like. Like I said, Santana Dad, he does everything. I'm not that person. He can fix whatever. I can't do that. So I've had to have a conversation with her like, babe, that ain't me.
Yeah. I mean, my dad's an engineer, and because we, had there's 4 of us girls. So just growing up, like he couldn't necessarily pay everybody to do stuff. So he would, and his brain is like, he'll just figure it out. So I definitely grew up in a house where it was like,
he's a YouTube video.
Yeah, like you just figure it out. Like I've watched my dad, he just figured it out. And so, anyway, we had to talk about that sometimes, like early on, because I was like, just install this fan. Like, why are?
I do. I mean, initially I was just like, huh?
I was like, at Home Depot, and this is back.
I fix brakes now. Hey,
yeah, upgrade. But like at Home Depot, they even had like a list of like the order of doing it on the aisle or something. I mean, that's how, it's not like YouTube has been around like it is now forever. But anyway, when we were first married, I was like, I mean, it just tells you what to do. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So just a few updates. College Getaway is coming up January 30th through February 1st. Is there anything you want to say about that, Justin?
No, man, if you can come, let's go. It's going to be a great time. We got a great speaker, great worship team. There'll be some great small group teachers as well. Great time of huddles with other people from other schools. So, great time. Great free time space as well.
If you're a college student, we have the link in our bio. It's just at our website, msufca.org/camp. But you can also find the link to register on our bio. And then we have a luncheon coming up, and we're going to just keep talking about this luncheon, April 17th.
It'll be back at Mize Pavilion, connected to the hump over there, one of the practice courts. And it'll be a lot of testimonies from coaches and athletes and auction items and really good food and just a good quality lunch. Bring your friends.
Yeah, and we're excited it's earlier this year because last year it was a challenge it being in May and not, a lot of the students were already heading out or seasons were over or in postseason, getting closer to postseason, that kind of stuff. So we're excited that it's earlier. So hopefully we can have some more athlete representation at this luncheon this year. So that's coming up.
Yeah, it's great.
We're excited about it. Okay, so for the stretch time today, I wanted to get into this topic. I literally just found out about this, so I'm sure that those of you who are college students or in the know on social media could make fun of me for this, but I just found it. So I don't know how long this has been like a thing, but the phrase 2026 is the new 2016. And we went around the table just barely before we got started. And Justin, did you know about it before I told you?
I mean, I had saw some posts, but I had no idea what was really going on.
But you had seen posts about like people saying
sending some
years ago.
And I've seen people share memories before, so I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
but like I didn't really notice like this is the thing. I didn't like look at the posts carefully enough to realize it's 10 years apart all the time.
Right. What about you, Darius?
Had no idea.
Brandi?
I've seen a couple posts. I'm kind of like Justin. The first one, I just thought, oh, they're memories. But then once I realized it was 3 that I saw, like they were all 2016.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a new
Something's
thing.
going on.
Yeah, but I still don't know the entirety of it.
So how does this work? Like, what is the theory behind it?
Well, apparently the trend is that like these different platforms, are posting throwback photos, videos, filters from 2016. So even like filters. So like on Snapchat, there were, what did it say on here? Like dog filters. Do y'all remember that?
Oh gosh.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the dog filters.
Okay. And then like lo-fi selfies, random style pics. So even like from a stylistic,
Yes.
how we were engaging with
Yeah.
each other type of stuff. It's not just that year, but it's
the
like
thing
what
that was
was
kinda
going on at the
trendy
time.
in
right?
that time. Gotcha.
So, and some of it can take a political tone. We're not trying to like get into that, but I really wanted to hone in and kind of make a conversation around, apparently it's kind of also about this nostalgia, like remembering back to before the algorithms got to what they are now and things like that. But for me personally, 2016, I'm like, I don't feel like that's a far enough distance for me. I could see where like current people that are maybe college students or maybe in their 20s, 2016 would be
Yeah.
like maybe their
Give me
middle
to 06 and I'm in a
I
uniform.
know. That's why I was like, wait, like for me, 2026 is like the new, I can't even say the thing right, is the new 2006 is like what I felt like. So I was trying to go back in my brain and think about 2006. What did I appreciate about that
because
time?
we're old. dear.
I know, but I'm like, that's what we should talk about today. But
These college students can't be a part of it if they go back 20
Right.
years. 'cause
that's what
they'll
I'm
be in
saying.
diapers.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like that's what it should apply to different groups. Like I'm like 2016 is not really far enough back for me.
Well, 2016. I know one of your children were here.
Eli had been born. He was born in 2015.
Yeah.
So
he
two.
was.
I got you. He was.
Yeah. So
Texas.
this says that people remember 2016 as a less serious, more spontaneous time on social media, full of the filters, fun challenges. So not so much of like scripted stuff or like this
Yeah.
is the most effective.
It's more like
stuff.
this is what we did today. And
Yeah.
put up a couple pictures.
Yeah,
Or
not so much of the you find out what's working, what's popular, and then
Yeah.
Right.
again the algorithm stuff. Let's see. This also says after years of polished, highly curated. That's what I guess what I was trying to say. Curated content. Many users want the imperfect, fun, unfiltered energy of 2016. So anyway, this is what I really wanted to hone in on because I wanted to ask you guys. So I don't know, unless there's something from 2016 that stands out, but I wanted to challenge us to go further back and think about 2006 would have been my like end of freshman year.
That's when Facebook was started.
Beginning 2005 was
Yeah.
Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of 06. So like what's nostalgic about like that time for you? You can do 2016, Darius, since you're a little younger than us.
I was going to say, because if I go back to 2006, I was in the 9th, 10th grade, believing I could be the next Spud Webb on a basketball court.
You look like Spud.
Yeah, but I didn't have the hops.
What was the like? What was
Spud
like
could
the?
jump 50 inches vertically. I mean,
Yeah.
But what was the trends as far as there might not have been many
See,
trends,
back
but, like
then-
social media and technology.
So now I'm gonna tell you what was big for us.
Okay.
Back then,
Okay.
we had Bebo. Have y'all ever heard of the Bebo?
Mm-mm.
So Facebook, you talk about Facebook. Facebook was not the big thing for us. Was Bebo and MySpace.
Well, I was going to ask
So,
about MySpace.
See,
yeah.
MySpace, it was a serious thing. Who is in your top 10 or your top 5? Like
In
that.
MySpace?
Yes,
When
or
you
your
like-
friends list.
Did you? Yeah.
sounds like
when
a
you,
sale plan.
When you logged into MySpace, did it look like Facebook? What did it look like?
So when you logged into MySpace, you got to think you could. MySpace had a thing that you could edit profiles and make the theme be whatever you wanted.
I do remember that.
So
about it.
Did you have one?
so it was like this.
For sure.
Like just say if I like the Lakers, there was a certain like URL code I could put in on the editing of the profile that may put the Lakers as when you click my page, the Lakers stuff come up, the wallpaper, or it could be a Kobe Bryant wallpaper. Like you could change your wallpaper, have different things. Then this is another thing that MySpace had. You could have a song that was connected to your profile. So as soon as somebody clicks up your page, there's a song that's connected to your profile, which could be what was your favorite song or a song that, that you feel like reflected you. And then they had a wall like Facebook where people could post things on your wall, but you had a friends list. Now, I'm going to say this, with the younger people of my age, the top 10 was important. You could
you could see. How did you see it? Like you could see who was or they could see that you put them in their top 10.
It's like this. On your page, you set your top 10, and whoever visits you,
can see.
They can see. Now, this is the thing. So if you wanted to really know if somebody was into it, you could go to the top 10 list, and it tells everything. Because if you and Brandi were best friends, she's in your top. I'm just gonna say top 5. Well, you go and look the next day after they not talking, and then she's either completely removed or she's moved down the list. Oh my gosh. And you could tell. So the boyfriend was like number 1.
Right.
Like, or it'd be something like the parent is number 1 or something like that. But and so Bebo was like the more younger version. Like on Bebo, it was more younger people. It was like if you was a certain age on Bebo, it's like, okay, what are we doing? The thing about Bebo, it was kind of set up the same way. And you know how it's really amazing because when you look at social media today, they really do a lot of things that were done back then, but they just do them in a more up-to-date way. Mm-hmm. So Bebo was just like MySpace. As far as you got your own profile, you got a little bio up there that you could talk about yourself. You could have like hobbies, but then they had other half. Your other half could be either a sibling. Most of the time, it was a relationship partner. Like if it was your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, he or she would be your other half. So once people see that, they click them and it takes them to their profile.
Oh wow!
You get what I'm saying? So girl's profile could may be like it may have a small questionnaire like sign, like what's your sign, birthday, height, things like that, favorite group, and then on the guys, what sports you play. So it was a way of it's kind of like what Instagram is. It was profile based, and it was just a little more interesting. Now the thing was that made it great was it was important, but because social media wasn't as prevalent, it didn't dominate who we were.
Right. And you could only access it through the computer anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can start, some of them, eventually you can start accessing them through the phone, but it was so bad. And like
it was so bad.
Yeah, it was so bad because it's like you said, it was built for the computer. It was not,
Right.
So, but that was 2006. That's what it was. And that's why I say it was a little different because it's amazing because when social media was in its infancy, it wasn't as much emphasis on it. It's like if you didn't have a profile, you wasn't looked at like you're left behind.
Well, it's really more. I mean, I've never really thought about it because I don't really think about this stuff. But it was the partnership with how the phone changed.
Yes.
Like if the phone had stayed the same,
Yeah.
those social medias would have probably been around. I mean, we'd probably be experiencing it the same way.
And it continues to grow because you got to think about it. Like now, when I chose this phone, I said I got to get something I can watch movies. Because I'm saying as things adjust, the phone kind of that's kind of how it was. So that's why I say it's interesting to look at because I'm that person now. To look back when I was that age and some of the young people that I'm around, they cannot even associate with nothing that I'm saying. It's like, because Facebook, and that's, you talk about Facebook. Facebook was like the site that nobody cared about. It's like, that was the last, but it's amazing that now Facebook is still,
it wasn't the first thing, but somehow I'm sure was adapted in a way that could be on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought about that, like how those things would have to be like kind of planned at the same time and in cahoots most likely.
Yeah.
But with Facebook, that started my freshman year, I think, 2005. And so similarly, I mean, I would get back from class and log on and see if somebody posted on my wall, basically my profile.
Yeah.
But I never did the MySpace thing.
I did it my freshman year. But it kind of freaked me out. I can't remember why. Like, I think it was because people could talk to me that I didn't know, like send me a message that I didn't know.
Yeah, did you not?
And that
you
was
didn't like
not
friend
normal.
people like Facebook?
I don't think so, right? Or
Did
did
you just go search someone's name in MySpace and
No. I think you could like add them as a friend, but it wasn't set up at the same time.
Anybody could send you a message.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I guess you still can on
But I think anybody could, but I think too on MySpace. I mean, we talking about Facebook. MySpace. Yeah, I think but I think some profiles could be private where people couldn't get access to your, like they could click your name and see you had a profile, but it would be very vague until they, like, I guess, accept
I don't remember if something happened, like somebody got hurt or, and so I was like, I'm not. And it was new. We didn't have social media at all before
MySpace
then.
is kind of like still registered in my brain like that. Yeah. Like just like I know about that. Yeah. Like it just seemed a little bit like risque.
Yeah, it was
to get a MySpace page. Did y'all ever have phone calls like a phone on the wall in your house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yes. Definitely.
I mean, obviously you, Justin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When back
we had
memorized numbers.
Yes.
The phone books on top of the fridge.
See, that's what I miss.
My brother and I had our own line, but it wasn't like somebody. But it wasn't like if you called me and my mom was on the phone, it still wouldn't. It would be busy. But when if you called our line, our ringtone was different. It would do like a little different ring.
Oh.
I think my parents paid like maybe $5 a month.
To make so that they would know this is not
like when the phone rang, we would get all excited when it was our ring. Like,
oh, nice!
Still can't believe my parents.
Do you think that people would know if we asked at a huddle? Do you think these students would know what a busy signal is?
Probably not.
When is a busy signal? I mean, when I call the doctor, maybe, but I'm like, when is that even used anymore?
Because most of the time it goes straight to a voicemail.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
We did get call waiting eventually.
Yeah, I just had a moment. Busy signal.
You don't know what that is?
No, I know what a busy, but I need.
Babe.
Okay, so this reason, that's why I want to just clarify. I know what a busy signal is. Most of the time that I get them pretty often, but it's because when we're back home and you're trying to get lunch during lunch hours, you're trying to put your order in.
Oh,
you get that.
Okay, yeah, so maybe they do know.
You see what I'm saying?
Because anything on a landline.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about phones, that one line. Like, and then if you were calling a friend, like specifically a girl, like
somebody could pick up another phone, right?
Yeah, but you had to talk to parents. Like you pick up a phone, you're talking to mom or dad, and you're like, "Hey, what's your name there?" She's like, "Yeah, sure. What's your name? Yeah. And what do you want to do with my daughter?"
Yeah, you got to get through somebody else.
And so to have that conversation, man, you had to be.
Yeah. Well, I would. A lot of times I wouldn't have those conversations because I hang up.
Yeah.
You call the phone and it's like, "Hello." And then they call the phone back. Like, somebody just called.
No, nobody called.
Click.
I don't know what
and then that's the most awkward feeling at school the next day. Did you call my house last night? Yeah, but you didn't have somebody answer the phone. That was my, but I will say it was more respect. You knew you couldn't just.
Oh, yeah, you had to have your stuff figured out before you get on that call.
It's just amazing.
We planned times too, though. Like I'm gonna call you at 6:45.
Yes.
So you had to kind of be by the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what with Justin said that, this is what's crazy. My mom didn't like my dad, so she gave him the phone number. So when he called, the first 4 days he talked to my grandmother and didn't know it.
Oh.
And my grandmother is the one that told my mom, "You need to talk to this guy." I've talked to him 4 days. He's pretty. He's a good guy. Like he built up. He didn't realize who he was talking to, but he built up trust.
Yeah.
Through. So I'm saying, but it's just a point of like what he said.
That? In order for you to get to me, you need to talk to my grandmother for 4 days. And she will give approval or not. So
we used to try to trick my dad when he would call. Like I would try to pretend like I was my mom. Like, because voices on the phone, Brett still thinks Lee Parker sounds like me on the phone. And so that's what I always try to trick, because they couldn't tell. Because it's calling a phone that goes to everybody, not just your cell phone.
Yeah.
To think about the lack of autonomy you had to like the most autonomy you can have to just hide in whatever way you want. You can say what you want and just not even be seen versus like that time. But like what, like, cause when you talked about something just a second ago. Like we planned times to be at the
Yeah.
phone, and you were smiling when you
Yeah.
said it. Like, what makes it fun to go back and think about those times though, versus now where you could just be like, oh, this is so much better because I can just like not have to go through this person or that person.
I felt like it was investment.
Mm-hmm.
Like because you like with Brandi said that it just bring back memories to when I would do things like that. So because you were so committed to the investment, you were not into wasting people's time or wasting your time. Like you wouldn't really do that with somebody you didn't really have an interest in.
Yeah, it kind of created like a natural boundary. Like you're not going to mess around.
Right, right. So it's like if I don't like her, I'm not calling her.
But those things are not in place now.
No.
So it's like
I was just going to say, like, you didn't call the house past 8. You know, because then, like, the dad might answer and, like, why are you calling my house this late? Where now, like, people can call and text all hours.
Man.
It's literally
FaceTime in the middle of the night. Like, my 8th graders, they will fall asleep on FaceTime with people.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
I'm
really.
like, I just didn't understand
That's
it
just 8th grade.
because I don't like to
it's true.
FaceTime.
right.
You know, so
Yeah.
I'm like, why would y'all want to do that? But for them, it's a thing.
Yeah.
That's
Looking at each other's noses in the dark.
Yeah,
looking at
or
their
the
noses in
ceiling.
Dark, breathing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then too, one
Not
of the
saying-
What do you do when they
anything.
fall asleep?
Not
Do you just
saying
stay on the
anything.
phone or do you hang up?
It's off.
And I felt like it gave, like the way things were, it helped people have a sense of value for themselves. Like, what you talking about, the way they FaceTime and, because that is a thing now.
Yeah.
It's like you become, even at a younger age, you become so consumed with another person
Mhm.
that the heartbreaks are 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, a lot of times parents were a little more involved because you had to talk to them first.
Yeah.
And then, too, it would be to the point where it's like, they not going to be calling this house at no 9 o'clock. If they don't respect this house, they don't respect you, they don't respect us. And it would lead to lessons where you would start, a lot of times, even if you didn't fully align with what they said, it brought a conviction like, they are right. Like, this is not respectful.
You
to
were
me.
more engaged in the process with the whole family,
Yeah.
not just the individual, because siblings would get involved on it too,
Yep.
and mess with you,
Yep.
and like so, just whatever. Like it was just all that was together, and so it was a family investment.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember when
Ooh.
you said that, my little brother, he's 5 years younger, he would like go to the other room to for the longest we had one and it was in the hallway. Then my parents added a room and so they had a phone in their room and he would like sneak and get on and I could hear him and I was like, get off the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you might yell like,
You could
who's
pick
on
up
the phone?
quietly,
Yes, yes.
and
yeah.
listen to sister conversations. I may have done that one time.
I bet.
I don't think I did it.
But also
bad.
like the point that you can set a time is like I can still go ahead and like go outside and do this and play
Yes.
this and I'm not like just sitting there waiting. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know.
That's why I say I just think back, when I think about it back then, it's like you value yourself. Like everything about you was not, like some of these younger people, I be wanting to say like, you're a little too invested. Like you're too young, you're still learning, you're still becoming. Like, why do you feel like your whole week and day have to be consumed with this particular individual? I'm married, and
Right.
you pushing my limits. I'm I'm married with a wife. You making me feel like I'm not, because
Like
like you
their
said,
whole world is about.
like yes, like back then, for me, we, like you said, we knew we were gonna talk at 7. We get out of school at 3:15. Hey, I'm shooting ball.
That's
I'm
right.
going down the street playing this, and then when that time comes, I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be talking to such and such, but I wasn't. My whole day wasn't consumed with them. You know what I mean? Which I feel like helped us to transition. If stuff didn't work out,
Right.
I mean, it didn't work out.
Okay.
You wasn't feeling like writing a note for the, I don't want to say it like that, but almost a suicide note. I can't breathe. I can't go. It wasn't that.
Right.
But now,
Oh my gosh.
my God, trying to talk to some of these young people through breakups, you like, I only knew them for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, but you love them like that? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. There's just talking about it makes sense that there's not, even thinking about TV and how everything's streaming now, there's just no natural lines anywhere.
Not too
That's
much.
not revelation for anybody. We all
Yeah.
know that, but it's just like you had to wait on the show to come. So it's not like this distraction. I could do it now, but I'm going to not. Like, you didn't even have to discipline yourself for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, my show doesn't come on until 6 anyway. So
Yeah.
it's just off your mind.
It's not at Blockbuster yet. We can't rent it.
Yep, man.
That's archaic. I don't know. Did y'all know?
Blockbuster.
Have y'all noticed that? Redbox took Blockbuster out pretty much, and red boxes are not like we don't even see them anymore.
Yeah.
Nope. What I knew, because I had an uncle who was a big manager in Blockbuster for the longest, and see, back in Tupelo, I don't know if y'all remember Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood Video. Yeah.
So Hollywood Video and Blockbuster was basically the same.
Big competitors.
And literally, they put a Hollywood right next to Blockbuster. So what people would do is, if they couldn't get it at Hollywood, they'll walk across the street to Blockbuster. See, and it was very competitive. But I remember when they first started going out of business, he was like, because he was a manager there, he worked there, like that was almost like his life. And when they first started going, and it's amazing because like my mind couldn't comprehend Blockbuster being what it was from a video game perspective, from a movie perspective, to Redbox. Like I remember Redbox to like Netflix, and like it's so many different transitions. And that's why when you was even speaking to some of the things that we just naturally done, I feel like that's why sometimes the life right now for a lot of people is so out of balance, because it's almost like we're being taught to live life instead of with the patience and the timing and the learning. It's like everything seems sped up.
Yeah.
Right. You can watch. You can tell me about a show, Hunger Games, and I can literally in 2 weeks watch 5 series of one show, because it's like, and it's just I'm gonna say this as a younger person who's been in both times, it doesn't feel healthy.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
Boundaries help with formation. And so when you eliminate boundaries,
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
when you eliminate
Thought-
boundaries,
thought of
there's
me.
no,
I gotta write that down.
there's not true formation that happens. Maturity, emotional maturity. We could go through each of the things and how lack of boundaries just promotes more chaos.
Mhm.
And so you just spin and spin and spin. But when there's boundaries that keeps you secure, you can grow and form in a place. And then
So maybe
then you can move on to the next. Like you can open the gate from that one
Right.
and move on to the next because you can handle the next.
Right. Maybe that's an indication. Maybe this trend will be an indication that that's what people are ultimately craving. Like, you don't want boundaries. You want to be able to have your choice and do whatever you want when you want to do it. But it's actually what's really hurting you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see even Manny is awesome. We've talked about her a few times on this podcast. And I might have said it. I think I did on another episode. But we had a Christmas party kind of thing for the girls, and she brought a separate digital camera. So when we said, let's do a picture, I was going to grab one on my phone, and she handed me her digital camera, and she started kind of explaining how to use it. And I was like, I got it. But even that, I've seen that trend for sure for a little while. Like Abby and I think we're at an event for like middle school, high school age. And I think I saw some of them like have separate digital cameras. And so I think it's funny because every generation probably comes to that point where we think we've discovered something, but somebody's already done it, right? And I won't mention who because this is her idea, but somebody else, like a student here, she was telling me that she was going to start a cookbook club, and where people can bring their recipe and the actual cooked item and then exchange the recipes after they eat. And when she posted this to social media, she got like 15 responses immediately.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I'm hoping these are indications of, because to me, I mean, I've never done a cookbook club, but there's book clubs. I was like, man, these kids are going to start asking to play bunco. I don't even know how to do that. That's an
Mahjong.
Yeah.
Mahjong. Have you seen it? Okay, do you know what Mahjong is?
No.
Oh my gosh, you don't know? On the computer, it was like solitaire Mahjong. There were only certain games you
only
could play.
played solitaire, probably.
Okay.
Taipei or something.
It was
tiles?
Yes, and you had to have 2 tiles that were the same, that were revealed to click on them, and you tried to get all the tiles gone.
Yeah.
Well, now people are playing like real life Mahjong with tiles.
Oh, interesting.
I really want to do it.
Bring back
because it's like
Minesweeper.
Flash. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
yes.
flashback. That's what it is.
Look, I don't play games at all, but when Google did the throwback to like Pac-Man, well, I went through all 8 levels. I was like, dude, I'm beating this thing.
Yeah.
This is my childhood right here.
But that's why
the PlayStation, like, when PlayStation first started coming out, we had the old Nintendo. I used to love, like, my dad's friends would bring their kids over after we would hunt, and we would play the duck game with the guys, and Mario.
You skipped a
Come
few
on.
going from
I know.
NES to
Yeah,
PlayStation.
I was thinking
Some of that gap
PlayStation
there.
was not what I was thinking. I was
Super
trying to think.
Nintendo,
Yes.
Sega.
I was trying to think Super
Nintendo
Nintendo,
64.
regular
Do
Nintendo.
y'all remember this? Dreamcast? What's it? Dreamcast? Gamecast?
Oh.
I don't remember that.
Oh, no.
But the reason why I say that, because you think about it, the first game that I remember just had, it was a box controller with A and B. That's it, a red and black A and B, and then you got the Super Nintendo with it started adding a little more
The tops.
with the top. But that's why I was gonna make a point when you started talking about what you were saying, and even you, Bethany. I think that's why it's important for some of us who have had those experiences to continue to talk about the experiences we have. Because I think sometimes, and I'm just speaking how I feel. Now, y'all may feel different, but sometimes, especially being a youth pastor and you're dealing with younger people, they can almost make you feel like sometimes when you're trying to teach them some of these things that we're not relating to them. So if you're not careful, you almost feel like you're having to give up everything just to. But I started realizing, like, some of these things we have to be okay with reminding them or even bringing this to them so they can understand the pace you're going and the world is pushing you to go through. It's not healthy. It's like, you're, and I just feel like this. I have to tell some of them, be a kid.
Yeah.
Like don't be 15 living like you're 35. I'm 35.
Right.
Don't live like me. Yeah. Like be 14. Go out. That's why I look at them now, and I saw it really change with my generation where the game became a big thing. Now, we still went outside and still played, but then it started going from, instead of going outside and meeting, shooting ball, playing football, baseball, wrestling, now we're meeting at such and such house to play the game.
Yeah.
But I started noticing the competitive spirit started to dwindle. That wanting to beat you, like that started to kind of go away. The how we interacted with each other, it just started to shift. And so now I see a generation who don't go outside at all. And so what I'm saying is, like, I just feel like sometimes it's important that we share, like, some of these different things and some of the games that we play and some of the things that we've done, even how we done it, to help them to realize, like, this is healthy.
Yeah.
Like, this will help develop certain different things. Because now, you're talking about dating. You have people dating people and the parents don't even know they even talking to nobody. Like, they having to find out such and such, your son, like I literally had a person come to me and say, yeah, your little sister and my son, they've been dating. I'm like, who are you?
Oh my
Who are
God.
your son? But I'm saying because of how things are, they have so many different means to communicate with people and interact in a way that we won't know unless we kind of, a little more intentional. But I just feel like we should bring them in sometime to reel them in.
Barking up Abby's tree, I will find them.
Yeah, you better be.
I will find you.
Yeah, I would hate to be the young man on the other side of that.
You better be talking to me first, fella.
And something too, like, about sending them outside. Our kids, as they've gotten older, and we send them outside to play, sometimes we will go out and play with them, but they're used to always, like, having stuff fed and given, and they'll say, well, I'm bored.
Yep.
And Brett's response always is, boredom is a choice. Go find something to do.
Yeah.
And I think, like, in that, like, you have to figure out
creativity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to figure things out.
Yep.
Like, we didn't have all these extra things that you see everybody having. Like, we figured out something to play or do. So
Yeah. Eli came home telling me his teacher told him that.
Oh, yeah?
What you
Boredom
just said.
produces creativity.
And I was like, and did you believe her? He was like, yeah. And I was like, perfect.
Good.
I mean, to think
Yes.
for later. 'Cause if I had said it to you, you'd be like,
That's what we tell them, Brandi. Go play in the woods.
Okay, I
Yeah.
posted this
That's where they
video.
go.
I posted this video this mom had where she was bringing, like, this plate of apples out to her son under the, like, place that they had in their yard. And she was like, all right, today we're going to pretend it's the 90s. And she was like, here's your snack. You're staying outside all day. You're not coming back inside. We're pretending it's the 90s. And then she was like, where's your brother? And he goes, I don't know. She said, perfect. That's the 90s.
Right. Yeah. He'll be fine. He'll come in at dark.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But to your point, Darius, this is a good segue into another thought. So our staff knows this, but Justin and I are both fans of Nate Bargatze and his comedy. And so he has a podcast I listen to. But on this podcast, he is about to build an amusement park. He's been going around touring the country. He sells out stadiums. It's crazy the amount of people. He's about to have a movie come out. And he says this, and this is what I want to ask you guys. He is convinced people want to have things that they can go do together as a family and then like create those moments together. Because he was like, these are stories you're going to tell, like when I'm a grandfather, I'm going to be like, your mom did blah, 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 to my grandkids. But I believe that because I feel that way. But I feel like that is kind of dwindling. Like, do people care to make moments, to have stories? Do people communicate in stories when they get together? Yeah. Are they like, hey, you got to hear what just happened when I went to Kroger today, blah, 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 blah. Like I do that, probably annoy people that I do that so much because I realize like I'm sitting at lunch and I'm like, something they say will remind me of something. And that's what I think that's what makes things like life interesting and fun. Yeah. But if you don't even filter your life through that or like care to go, one of y'all just said that about like you go somewhere to create that. Like when you're outside and you're having to figure something out, then you have a story. Mm-hmm. Well, Eli picked up this stick and tried to do this and blah, 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 but if it's already figured out for you and just kind of like you don't have those stories to share.
And my kids love listening to stories. When Brett and his brothers and cousins get together and start telling stories, they are like silent and still and listen. They're like locked in. And his dad. But they also are good storytellers. Like his dad adds to, and I'm like, I have to remind them, like because then they want to recreate. I'm like, some of that is not true. You can't go do exactly what he said.
Yeah.
But so I do think, I value it. I feel like I'm in minority in that, though. Do you feel that way? Like
that you appreciate that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm wondering if people, like younger people, in your church, do you see them, do they talk in story form to each other?
Well, a lot of times they don't, but that's why I was saying to the point I was making earlier, we have to, I feel like, preserve that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you got to think they are literally in a world where they're almost being pushed to be so individualistic, even among the family. Like, go get food, everybody get their food and go to their room. Like, where we used to sit around, talk, engagement, And so what we're seeing with some of our young people, we're having to make that as we having to really push that with the staff. Let's engage. Mm-hmm. Let's put them with somebody to make them engage because like they're now more easy to just be off to themselves. Mm-hmm. It's like me, my assignment, my phone, my world, my bubble. But as we and that's what I'm learning, like you said, what happened with your children. When we talk about things, especially some of us come together, and especially when the stories include multiple people, you see them light up. You see, and they like, y'all did that, or how do y'all? And it's like it helps them sometimes to see, okay, we were in your shoes, but when we were in your shoes, this is what we were doing, and we were. I'm gonna say this: we're making moments. We miss a lot of moments. And what I'm learning as I get older, being married to my wife, you have to be intentional to create these things. You have to be intentional. So I feel like some of these things are things we need, but some of them don't know they need it until they see it. And then it's like, oh, okay, wow, I didn't know I was missing out on that. Let's go and create our moments,
Yeah, even on the podcast we were talking about with Jason, I asked him what was his favorite sports broadcasting moment. And he was like, oh, it had to be the Morgan Williams shot went over the UConn player. So we're talking about that. And because he was there and he had his vantage point, I was like, yeah, I was there. I was up with my family. I've never seen my dad so excited. Yeah.
Really?
Me and Abby
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, I've never felt electricity like that.
That's awesome.
With people in the stadium. So and then after that, I ran into somebody who I think works in Columbus at a paper or something. And I don't even know how that he found me, but he interviewed me, which I was a former player. So there's just these moments that happen associated with that moment that Jason brought up. And to me, that's how you interact and you have a good conversation and a good hang.
Yeah. Some of it's just funny too. You know, it's just a good laugh. Just creates that
But how much of that is missed, or I feel like I'm going to start noticing it more, because I do think I have noticed it's harder whenever I do ask a question to someone, say like college age. It's might be one word, or more frequently, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, surely you got one thought on this, you know? And I'm not trying to make fun. It's just noticing the difference in how maybe people are interacting with like the life around them, and then going and, because I think that we would probably do that. Like, we'd be like, oh man, I got to remember this, and then remember to tell this to Justin later, because this was wild. This happened to me, you know, whatever. That's kind of how I think about my day and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm completely with you. That's why I said they pushing them and challenging them to be thinkers, pushing them and challenging them to share, have some of those moments, and to realize like it's fun to do, like to be a person, to be I mean, those are things that I'm realizing some of those times I did miss out on, but then also being in a position and you're seeing where you came from. Because it's like my grandmother in the hospital. We're literally in the hospital and she's there, but even though we're there with family, we're talking about stories. Like one time, you know, I was playing, and this may be a little graphic, but we had a swing set that the outside of the bar had fell off. So I would look in the swing set like I'm looking through a glass, and then I put my nose in and all this. Well, I didn't realize it was a bee nest, and a bee flew up my nose, stung me on my nostril. And because of that cartilage, you could feel the sting, but you couldn't feel it. It's like you felt it, but I knew something was, and this is what I did, Jay. I closed my nose and I closed the bee in there. And that's when the bee stung my like the cartilage, and I let it out, and my eye swelled up like a balloon. And I had to go to the hospital. But because of some of the people that were there, we got to share those stories. And then like I can only imagine when your husband and his brothers telling their stories with the kids around, it helps them to not just it helps them to get to know them better too, because they're seeing their personalities. They're realizing like, okay, they didn't just show up like this with me. They have actually been like this. You know, you get to, so it's so many different things I feel like we miss out on when we don't move like that, or be intentional on creating those moments and different things. And that's why I speak to the athletes here. One thing I tell them, it don't matter how your season going, embrace this moment. Like when you just sitting around talking, getting to know each other, like embrace these moments, because once they gone, they are gone. And then when you come back 20 years from now, you'll be able to talk about it together and say, you remember this?
We were just kind of talking about that.
There's some great things about this generation. We can get into the details of some of that, but I think the things that I would say is this generation is like, have the family time, don't skip the family time. And if you don't have that, like sitting around the table, having meals type things, sharing stories, like your kids are getting to hear this, you know, the strength of the Morgan family is big, you know, all that formational stuff, or time with grandparents, things like that. Don't neglect that time, because there's stories, there's gems, there's nuggets all throughout there and experiences. Make that time count. And if you don't have that, you need to find it where you are. And I think those things are just significant. We need to be around sharing stories. We need to have these moments. This isn't a knock at the current generation.
No.
At all.
But I do think that the trend feels like, for me, I'm no expert. I don't study all this social stuff, but like, it just seems like if the nostalgia is what you're after, it's probably because that's what you really want, is that like kind of storytelling, that engagement with people, not just on a platform, but in person. And one of the last things, we're going to wrap up here in a second, but I was thinking about, in this definition about nostalgia, it says, feeling nostalgic means experiencing a sentimental longing, often bittersweet, for happy or significant times, people, or places in the past. Anyways, it's often triggered by like sights and sounds and smells. I just wondered if there's anything that you can pinpoint that, like, did things like that trigger you? Like you mentioned music earlier, I think. That like takes you back. I know certain scents will do that. Like, man, the moment I smell it, I'm like, somebody wore this in high school. Like,
it's gonna sound crazy, but I loved the smell of my grandmother's window unit in her house. Like, I would go stand in front. No, it was just like, because I guess it came from outside, so it was just like a clean, fresh. But it was like I would go stand in front of the window unit, and so like if I smell that now, I'm like, oh. it takes you back. Or library books, the smell of library books.
We didn't know if you'd be okay, Brandi. You just sat there and looked at that window the whole day.
I would get my ice cream cone and go stand in front of the window.
She turned out.
Wow.
We were concerned about Brandi for
and I've noticed Luke is like that. Like certain people, I feel like pick up stronger with certain scents or different things, like whether it be stories or scents.
Well, the old smell of the Shira complex brought back memories.
Yeah,
good ones.
That's what I was just about to ask.
By running after weights and sleds.
You know what? I will say this, although baseball season is just entirely too long, but we've talked about baseball plenty of times on this. What I will say, I do get aggravated when people start setting up their left field lounge stuff when it's still work day and you're like trying to figure out parking and you got all these people carrying coolers. I'm like, guys, anyway. But I do like the smell of those grills getting going and like something about country music at a ballpark. They're on a crisp spring day.
I just saw a video and they were talking about, I think they toured the stadium and all the things. Bryce Chance was on it. And that's one of the things that they were talking about was being in the outfield and being able to just smell the grills behind you and people being right there, like how it's so unique compared to other.
That will be stories they share.
I can't wait to experience that because this year I'm going to a baseball game.
Believe it when we see
this is my first.
I've been talking with this. This is probably the most exciting baseball season in a long time. And it's partly because some of the other sports are down, the bigger ones. And then, when you have coach change at the moment, I think they can flip it. I do.
No, you're telling the truth. It's just hard to accept.
No, but then new coaching staff and just forming of 2 Power 4 rosters. There's a lot of excitement around everything.
What could happen?
Yeah, what could happen, and I think people are really excited about it. So,
well, it's going to be my first time coming. I already got baseball jerseys. I'm just kind of excited. I've been literally told by everyone I've met I'm missing out.
Yeah,
they like
you got to make some moments.
Yeah, I got to make some moments.
Yeah.
They like this is the best thing in Starkville. It's not just a game, but it's an event.
I think because we have so many of the extra things that go along with it. A lot of schools do tailgating for football, but this is just so uniquely different than what other people have as part of the experience. Even if I don't even really hardly go out to the outfield, but
that's where we sit.
Smell it, I don't know, and they're just funny out there. There's something different.
Unfiltered. Yeah. It's funny.
Unhinged.
Unhinged. Are there any sights or smells or sounds for you that take you back to anything?
I mean, there's always.
Yeah,
of course. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty. I mean, there's songs that go back to certain points in your life, or I'd be too many. I don't want to get lost.
You do. I do hear you say that about songs. Come on. You were working in Home Depot that one season, and they played. What did
I know.
they play?
I'm working with a lot of younger guys at Home Depot during that gap year that I had, and I'm like, man, y'all know this song? You know this band? And nobody knows. I'm like, dude,
give some examples. Do you remember?
It's 3 Doors Down.
Yeah.
Or it's the Cranberries, or it's whatever some of the songs. And these guys are like, man, I have no idea what this is. I'm like, man, y'all missed out. It's great music.
Great stuff right here.
Wow.
Sounded like an old man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
And you were probably in your late 20s?
30s. This was
early
a few years
30s.
ago. This was before we came to Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to Mississippi
Only
State.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like Justin. I have a lot, sounds, sights.
Waffle House. I'm like,
it's so many different things. When you was talking, when Brandi was talking, I was thinking about raisins. When she was talking about her, because raisins, I don't know why, but at my great grandmother's house and even at my grandparents' house, raisins were a thing. They would literally have we have the box of Hershey's. They'll have a box of raisins.
I was not expecting raisins.
Like the little box of
the little red box.
Yeah. I love those.
Look,
Were you just thinking free raisins?
No. They had a little red.
Somebody just had a bowl of raisins.
Yeah. They would have a bowl with the little red box of raisins in it with pecans in them.
Oh.
like pecans.
I could be down
and they
for
would
that.
have a
Wait, in the box or like
no a pecans in the bowl. So they would have like the pecan breaker thing with
Okay.
a box of
Shelled.
grapes.
I was
Shelled
also
pecans.
picturing.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
remember when those were a thing.
No.
Like I remember at our house,
Yes,
we used to have pecans in the.
Yeah.
Right. So people
Crackers.
now today, to relate it to today, it would be more like a candy bowl.
Yeah.
But those were things I used to remember, and I used to remember because they wouldn't let us get candy, and that was like the sweetest thing you don't get. So you can say, I ain't eating this, and then eventually
You're going to go get
you
some
didn't
grapes.
grab them. And then later it blew my mind because I didn't know that raisins were dried up grapes.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So like things like that, Stuart Scott, you hear his voice on ESPN, and it brings back memories. Or I know you're gonna know this one, Justin. Chris Berman.
Oh yeah. Back.
Yes. Or what about was it George Mikan Sports Machine? George, I can't think of it. He used to come on every Sunday night around 11 o'clock after all of the NFL games that came on, and he would go through all of the games, but he was very dramatic. And so you watch highlights, different things. Like those were things that, like some things I remember. You know, you talking about certain smells. I feel like everybody has a family or a home that had a smell that was attached to it. Like I had a family member, like, and it wasn't a bad smell, but if I left clothes over there and got my clothes and brought them home, you could smell where they came from. You know, not like I said, it wasn't bad, but it's all kind of things, songs that bring back memories.
There's my grandma's back door creaks. It's a certain creek and whenever we bought this house in Starkville, our back door is pretty close to how it, like mimicking that. But it was like, you always knew when you opened that door, she'd be like, hello, you know? And so you like expect that and you're like, it's me, Mama.
Wow.
So like that is a good sound. Like that's always associated with walking into the back of their house and whatever we were going to do. Because that was kind of a place, like a fun place that we'd all go to growing up. But the Mario song, like whenever we went to that movie, that's probably why that movie crushed, because you have people that, you know, older and businesses that have figured this out. I just read about Lego not too long ago was taken, well, it's probably longer than I think, but whenever they were like tanking back in the early 2000s, I think, but they figured out, whoever came in figured out that people like our age or even probably older than us were still building, but they weren't designing things for that group. So they simplified the Lego pieces and then they started making things that would also take us back to, so whoever's figuring out this nostalgia is really what those happy experiences that we want to continue to live out, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of the deal. So anyways, that really took up the whole podcast today. So we're going to wrap up by just saying this, that our topic for this semester at FCA is going to be about who you're becoming. And we're going to have a lot of, I think, very relatable, relevant topics, like how are we becoming aware, becoming rooted, becoming honest, becoming teachable. We'll have a lot of things like a big question to think about, or feedback, or practice things that you can do throughout the week to help you with these things. So we really think it's going to be a fun series and way to engage, not just at the huddle, but through social media, listening to the podcast, and try to streamline that stuff so that it's kind of just reinforced in different ways. And hopefully, we can do some more storytelling and sharing, even through FCA. But anyways, we're going to talk more in the coming weeks on this podcast about what it's meant for us to just walk through, you know, just life and like what it means to become. One of the things that I guess I just in reflecting on last semester and anticipating this semester was just the realization again that in this age, you know, 18 to 22 is when you do so much of that. And some of it, you know, you make mistakes and you continue, like mistakes shouldn't be the thing that defines you and you just stick in that, but you have this opportunity where it makes sense that you're making mistakes because you don't know what you don't know. So you can just, understanding that you are on this path to maturity. And sometimes you need people that do have those stories to be able to say, it's not that something's wrong with you. It's that this is just what this part of your life is like, and it's uncomfortable. But let me tell you about, you know, how I made it through. And so that's really how we learn, is for people that have those types of skills, because there's things that you don't know that other people do know and they can share with you. And so we hope to do that more this semester. So we'll do some stories about that on this podcast as we talk through these different episodes. Does anybody have any parting shots before we
Yes, I want to say this. Justin made a great point earlier, but I want to say this as we're parting. Um, I know we said a lot of things that the younger generation could be open to. I just want to make sure that it's clear that not trying to beat up on them,
For sure.
not trying to make you feel like you don't know anything or y'all experiences are not great. Just trying to bring awareness.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there'll be things that we can be missing out on because we just don't know.
Mhm.
So just trying to share some of my personal experience and kind of being that bridge. I'm in the middle. I'm still considering myself young, but also dealing with younger people is just one of those things where I always want to stay in a place where we can learn from each other. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
just want to be clear that you don't listen to this, but they ain't doing it but beating us up. No, no.
No.
We're really, just sharing and hopefully we can say some things because we like the song say, we all need somebody to lean on. So if you don't have nobody there, who you gonna lean on?
Yeah.
So just creating moments and having expansion and a mindset to kind of work outside of systems sometimes to grow. So
Yeah. It's good.
I noticed none of us jumped in to harmonize with Darius.
We
At
all were
all.
like, I was
Great
sitting here
job.
thinking he did that. I was like, maybe we should have him sing more on the podcast.
I don't know.
Well.
Or do impressions or different voices. Justin, is there something in particular, maybe one thing, maybe more than one thing, but that you're looking forward to in this semester as you think about just getting into this topic?
I always look forward to the discussion, and I think it's going to be good for us though too because we are learning how to communicate better as a group from our perspective to this generation. And so I think it's a both ways thing. I think it's an honor. Like I know they honor what we're saying, but the same way we are showing that honor to them. And and I just the intentionality of both those things, just making yourself aware, putting yourself out there, and going, well, that may not be relevant to me now, but at some point it is.
Yeah.
And
And
I need to hang on to that because I'm going to need that.
And I'm hoping that if people are in particular just struggling with this season and phase of life, that maybe that they'll gain some new lenses to see and interpret their life through. Because I think that to your point earlier, Darius, about like, dude, you're 15, you don't have to be 35.
Yeah.
Like some of that is perspective shift of you aren't 35 and that's okay. You don't have to be, and you can just be, it's an uncomfortable stage. I wouldn't wish to go back, to be honest. Like I've even said when we've been at weddings and I'm seeing this sweet young couple get married, I'm like, we had a fun wedding. We had I enjoyed being young, all of that, but I was like, I will take where I am right now.
Yep.
Any day if I had to choose between that. And just because of what you don't know at the time that you're going to have to walk through, it is hard, but it's just like life and you have to just figure things out. So
I want to go say what you was talking about that. That's Justin made a great point. What I'm looking for this semester is the peace, the joy, and the growth. I say the peace because I do believe as we're helping them to see, as we are still becoming,
right.
and helping them to realize that they are becoming, I feel like it's going to add an element of peace because things can be somewhat chaotic. You kind of so into the moment that you step out of touch that this is just a stage.
Right.
There's things that you are being developed with. And I want to say this, like I was doing a devotion the other day and God spoke to me and said, don't allow what's meant to develop you to distract you. Like you can be so into your storm that you don't realize this storm has been employed by him to grow you, to propel you, to produce something in you. So as they're becoming, the peace that comes from that, helping them to realize, okay, it's okay. I'm becoming.
Right.
And then the joy that comes with embracing where I am and then the growth. We're going to be, so those are things that I'm looking forward to, not just for them, but also from us because they teach us things and help us to realize like, wow. And even that, like I said, we're all constantly growing and becoming something. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Anything you want to add, Brandi? No. Just looking forward to all of it. Come on.
Yeah, it's peer to peer. It's peer to peer. I think I've tried to communicate that with our leaders. Like, okay, say we meet and we have a good time and it's us talking. This is peer to peer. This is not me pouring into you. This is goes both ways. And I hope most of the time I feel like that just knocks the walls down a bit. I mean, like, it ain't about me giving you something. Let's engage together and let's see where this leads,
Exactly, Justin. Like you said, peer to peer, we're all growing together. We're all being connected. And so, hey, meet us here again next week, same time. Come to FCA, bring somebody with you, and we'll meet back here and we'll continue to grow together. See y'all soon.
Thanks for listening to the Created to Be podcast. To learn more about FCA at Mississippi State, visit www.msufca.org and follow us on Instagram at HailStateFCA_. If you would like to become a financial partner, visit www.fca.org/donate to sow into the work God is doing through FCA at Mississippi State.